Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a healthy Carson Wentz and the world champion Philadelphia Eagles take on a man back for a 15th NFL season, Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godwin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their men in blue emerging from the MetLife tunnels. We're set to go as the Giants get ready to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
When you look at the numbers that Eli Manning posted in 2017, there's plenty of cause for concern. Lowest yards per completion of his career, fewest yards passing since 2008, touchdowns, and rising in terms of interceptions. But he's one of the fiercest competitors in the league, even if you can't tell it by his demeanor. And no, you don't hear about his workout program like Tom Brady and Drew Brees. But this is a guy that burns to win and wants to get back on the top of the heap.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. A handoff to Barkley. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
Great time to focus on a healthy group of pass catchers. How about Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram? Because health is the key for them. When they're right, they stack up against just about any threesome in the NFL. 2 terrific wide receivers and a tight end that's hard to cover.
Manning to throw on second down. And this is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And it's third down. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
Yeah, I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Manning. Open man right side is Ingram. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. A first carry for Wendell Smallwood. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
Back after off-season rotator cuff surgery is Alshon Jeffrey, who played with the injury all of 2017 and still caught 57 passes for 787 yards and 9 touchdowns. What makes him special? Not just his size, but his athleticism, which was on display, and a brilliant catch for the first touchdown of Super Bowl 52, and also on display throughout the entire playoff run.
He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4th. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's Manning to throw, and it's brought in by Eric Decker. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
People like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
To Barkley on the check down. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that one will be
Automatic
accepted.
first down.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. Here's Wentz to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. This is why I don't play in points per reception fantasy league.
Is that what they call
receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah.
No.
And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Aguilar has it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Ertz has it left side. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. A look at the starters now on the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. This crew against the pass, it's been a real struggle. 2nd from the bottom in the NFL, number 31.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Philadelphia first down. Wentz finding Matthews.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Wentz to throw again. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And that'll be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Third down, it's Wendell Smallwood. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now out come the Giants. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Manning now on first down. And this is Shepard on the catch. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now Manning, and now the ball comes out. Manning lost it. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun now for Manning. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Working from the gun, Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pick up there of 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And Matthews has it right side. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Play action. Now Wentz. Steps away. He can run for it, and he will.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still 3rd down.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, it's Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. New York set to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
They go play action here on first down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And got his man complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Odell Beckham, 96 yards. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run with Clement. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still first down.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And, of course, the defense is going to accept this penalty. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. It's the Giants with the early lead. Back to MetLife Stadium in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. 1st and 10 at the 19. Now Manning. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Working from the gun, Manning. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. But with his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing the ball at any size coming out of the backfield because they need to be a full part of the offense.
They'll give it to him up the middle. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. He'll get it up the middle, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run again on 1st down with Smallwood. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field.
Illegal
So
block
let's
in the
see
back.
about the call.
Offense. Still 2nd down.
Throwing is Wentz. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. A run, it's Clement. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Completes it to Aguilar.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the carry, here's Clement. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Now Wentz. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Mario Edwards. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. On play action, it's Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. But how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Giants are going to get the football back. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Manning. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very solid gain of 27. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Manning to throw on 2nd down. And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Manning. And he's got room. And avoids the contact by sliding. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. Aldrick Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. And Rosas puts this one through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. They start the drive with Smallwood. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now a play fake. Wentz. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Remain here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
To Barkley on the check down. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it, No yardage. The Giants on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Manning. And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. Jordan Hicks with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. And he spikes it to stop the clock. And now if they choose, they'll have a chance at maybe a long field goal try here just before the break. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. Some great games coming up this weekend. The first one is over in London. 2 West Coast teams traveling a long way as Oakland plays host to Seattle. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being over in Arlington, where it'll be America's team, the Cowboys, taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And finally, on Monday Night Football, the guys will be in Lambeau, 49ers and Packers. A good one to wrap up week number 6. In our game, it's been the play of Eli Manning that's been the story so far. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's Smallwood as they begin on the ground. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Wentz going to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still third down.
The Eagles on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This will be third and forever. Shotgun now for Wentz. And Matthews has it right side. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Fielded at about the 28. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 42. To throw, it's Manning. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Let's check on the call.
Offense. Still first down.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, beating the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll go to Barkley again. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. And that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner. Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. 18 yards there and a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Giants on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Manning. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down where you want 3, get a little bit closer, making an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
5-7.
First down, a run with Smallwood. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The tackle by Janoris Jenkins.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Wentz. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does when a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
Still third down.
The Eagles on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Connor Barwin with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Now Wentz. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session, but Coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Manning. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick-6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season, it's big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. New York set to take the field. And following the pick-6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick-6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well. Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now Manning. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked. Philadelphia getting
getting set to take the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do.
Black, come on. Good chip. Kill.
They give to Smallwood. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Handoff comes to Smallwood. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Back near the goal line, here's Wentz. And he rifles one incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. Third down here. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Play action. Now Wentz. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, they know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even giving up a defensive touchdown.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. Eli Manning getting ready to go again on offense. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes, because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. The pitch goes to Barkley. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And a gain there of 11 yards.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taken with the defense will give him.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
To throw is Manning. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A giant 1st down. Manning to an open Beckham.
Eli to OBJ. What a combo. And really, how do you defend them when they're on their game?
Absolutely, and they're on their game in this one. That's really what this offense is predicated on, isn't it?
It really is. This explosive plays, and it doesn't matter whether Eli throws it 3 yards or 30 yards, OBJ can provide that. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. Incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, Get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
On third down, Barkley. And he'll be well short of a first down as he stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Go, go.
They run Smallwood. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. Here's Smallwood. And able to get this one all the way. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
We got 3. We got 37. 37.
A run with Smallwood. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And his pass incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 3rd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him. One of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And they'll wind wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. And a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still first down.
Now Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Wentz again. Dancing to his left. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. And nothing but daylight ahead. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now Manning throwing on second down. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37.
No. Kill.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. Here's Wentz to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On play action, Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I got to get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Throwing now is Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Kareem Martin in there to get him for a loss of 5. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 3rd and long, it's Manning to Barkley on the check down. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he can't come up with a pick.
Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
The Eagles send out their punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Fielded at the 20. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing is Manning. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a second down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now Saquon Barkley, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Throwing is Manning on third down, and that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Taken in at the 11. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Great.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
On third and short, Smallwood. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Giants, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.